So my project is the Mechatronics Trainer. It's a 7-section trainer that creates a directional 3-2 directional control valve, either metal or plastic. So there's 7 sections, like I mentioned before, to check either the height, if it's aligned correctly, what type of part it is, metal or plastic. And then in station 5, it actually puts everything together. So it'll put a spool in, and then a screw, and then a spring return actuator. Station 6 will then bring it to Station 7, which is the loading station, to store them. For the network, everything I'm using is Ethernet IP, HMI, and data. I'm using Ignition from HMI, and then I'm using my top server for my tag database. I don't have any redundancy at all just because it's not available. And then I don't have as many fail routines as I'd like, just for the time I had. I mean, I could probably spend all day making fail routines for each one of the actuators, but I don't have that time. And I'll do a quick little overview of my owner's manual. There's obviously a lot here for each section, but I'll kind of go a run through. So part 1, first is to load a part, then in the manual, start the whole station, and then 3 different spots to pick it up, move it, and drop it. Auto will just do that by itself. Station 2, start when the part has been flashed, or auto will do it by itself, and then also start again after the ultrasonic sensor has measured height, and then one more start to pass or fail that part. Auto will obviously do that all by itself. Station 3, start whenever the part is on the loaded in the ready section, I suppose, and then start after it's had its hole found, and then start whether it needs to be passed or failed with the claw to be flipped around or not, and then also a start to push it on to the next station. Auto will do this all by itself. Station 4, if we're in a manual, we have to start whenever the part has been found. The conveyor will start, and then it'll be sorted out automatically. And then if we're in auto, the conveyor will start whenever the part has been found. Station 5, the robot will start whenever the part's ready from Station 4. So the robot will pick it up, put it in Station 5. And the Station 5 will be ready once that part's been put down. So start will be to put the spool and screw in, and then another start would be to move it over the next station for the spring. And another start would be to put the spring on. And then auto mode will obviously do this by itself. And then once the spring is on, the robot will offload that to Station 6 and then also replace the spring. Station 6, if we're in manual, press the start and it will push the gripper forward and lock the gripper in. Another start will start the drill, and then another start will kick to Station 7. Auto will do it all by itself. And then Station 7, the station's ready when the part has been routed over for Station 6. And then the start will have the claw drop down, the claw grab. Another start will bring the claw over to the right storage section, and then another start will drop it down into the right spot. Auto will do this all by itself. So now I'll go over my I/O map a little bit. So each section's pretty much laid out the same. 16 inputs in the card, then 8 on the remote card, the IB8 card. So pretty much just the same thing every single time. Laid stuff out. And the outputs, 16 outputs for each card. So today I'll be running through my HMI. So here, this is the main screen when you first start up. It shows what stations are active. Obviously right now nothing's active. You go to Station 1 to my dock screen down here for navigation. Shows some indication of what parts are going or what parts of the process are going. Then a start and auto and manual mode. This little theme here for every station. It'll flash when the start button's ready to be pressed. And pretty much the same thing goes for every station. Station 4 is a stop. That is for the conveyor running. Stop that conveyor, start the conveyor. Station 5 has the robot running and robot offloading. Station 6 and Station 7 has counters for how many objects are in store, and then also a stop to reset those counters. So now I'll go over my programs. I mean, I'm going to go a little fast, but I did stage logic for most of everything. So one stage, and then once the conditions are met, start for our next stage, and so on and so forth. So I use messaging between each of my PLCs, messaging bits, produce bits, and consume bits for almost everything. And then, of course, these 3 stages I did latch and unlatch, and then here are my HMI tags, how I mapped it out. So yeah, just stage logic for most of everything. And then conditions, obviously you can see right there. Latch and unlatch, and then usually a delay timer before each stage can start. And then the last stage would kind of be like a reset stage. It would break to stage 0, and then everything would fall out, and then the reset stage would send it back to the start. So here I'm kind of back to normal OTE logic, blocking things out, plastics in play. This is stage 4, so sorting out how much is where, metals and plastics. In stage 5, a lot of robot stuff, so up here to have the robot come on, MCR will reset that. I didn't have any reset tags on my HMI because I think it would be better just to do it on the module to make sure that it's a safe condition to fully reset that. I also didn't have the reset, so my selector switch as a reset switch. So I didn't put that on my HMI either because I think it'd just be better to do it in person, so you know that the condition is good to reset that. So yeah, everything's pretty much the same. Produce, consume bits, stage logic on Studio 5000, of course, using 1769 L16 ER BB1B. So yeah, that'll wrap it up. That's 7 programs in total. I had to guess probably around 200 plus IO points used, or around 200 plus lines of code to get this fully operating. For the first station, you want to add your items to the queuing thing. In manual mode, the light will flash when you go. And just set it down. And we'll also run it in auto mode. And for the second station, it'll wait until this distance sensor is triggered. So in manual, ready to go. Ultrasonic. Keep going to the pusher. And the next station looks like in auto mode. We'll say we'll have a fail where this is out like that. Put it in auto. For the third station, we're going to wait till the part's on there. We're good and hit start. Make sure that robot claw is open. You can open it up by using the reset switch. Good to go again. The hole was good, so we'll keep going to the end, and we're ready to shoot it out. Now what it looks like when you have a failed one, put that in auto this time. That gripper will flip it around, so that holds the line correctly. You can push it up. And for this fourth station, I usually run in auto, so we'll do that. So it's going to wait for a part to get pushed off this conveyor. When it does, this pusher will sort between metal and plastic, metal being the far side and then plastic being the near side, so we'll simulate a push. It gets there. The item's ready. Wait for the robot to come down whenever I start the next station. So for station 5, once the item's in play, I'll forget it, we're in auto mode right now. So we'll come set that part back down. And that's out the way. So we'll keep the piece over and put a screw over here to this spring return. And once that's done, the robot will come in and offload it. And the 6th station. It cools off, but that'll get taken care of in the next station. And then it'll put a spring back on. So now in 6th station, I've already clicked the start button once, so it'll push that clamper down and clamp it good. So I hit start again. The drill will screw that on tighter. And we'll go over here to the 7th station. So once the part is over here, 4 metal items will get loaded here, 4 metal items here, 4 plastic here, and 4 plastic here. So once we're ready to pick it up, hit the start button. Once we're ready to go back, this will shift over and that'll go back to the reset position. Once we're at our spot, we're good to go. When it's full, it won't run. So I'll go a little bit over what went wrong or well, and then some stuff that needs improvement. So for the first 3 stations, I used latch and unlatched, and then I switched back to OTEs. I wanted to find what style I liked better. Latching was easier when I was trucking along, like going down the list, but then harder to ever go back and troubleshoot on. Whereas the opposite was true for OTEs. Sometimes going back and working on it was troublesome. But I think that in the end, troubleshooting was a lot better, I think, than latching and unlatching. But sometimes figuring out when a station was done without a prox sensor or at the next station, that was really prevalent in Station 5. And I also had no time to experience with the robot, and I would have liked to learn that a little better. And I say this project overall a success. I programmed efficiently and troubleshooted efficiently. The nights where I programmed, then the next day I tested were better than programming one day and then testing the next. Needs improvement, I think time management, again, just the same way. Programming at night and then testing in the morning. So a quick little summary about this project from my own perspective. I think it went pretty well. I think time management is my biggest thing. I feel like if I was at home and I would program before the day came the next day, I'd get a lot done and be a lot more efficient rather than programming at school and then also testing it there. I think it was better to program next day then test. And then I feel like I need to improve a little bit on my robot skills, but for my career I won't be needing that as much. But I think overall this project was a success.